Welcome to this edition of Infinicast. I'm Derek Fenwick, the Director of Professional Development here at Infinity Rehab, and I'm joined today by Peggy Thompson, physical therapist and the outpatient rehab coordinator at the Stafford in Lake Oswego, Oregon. And we're here to talk about National Physical Therapy Month, the month of October. National Physical Therapy Month is hosted by the American Physical Therapy Association each October to recognize how physical therapists and physical therapist assistants can help transform society by restoring and improving motion in people's lives. Peggy, thanks for joining me to talk a little bit about physical therapy. This is a really important celebration. Tell me a little bit about how you came into your career as a physical therapist and what physical therapy means to you, what's important about physical therapy in the bigger healthcare world.
Okay. I started in a medical family. My father was a physician, and so I used to make weekend rounds with him. Mm-hmm. So I was raised around the medical community. And I was young. I was 16 when I knew I wanted to become a physical therapist.
Wow.
So I started that career path after graduation, went to Pacific University, and graduated from there in 1985. So next year, officially 30 years of practice. And I can honestly say that I love what I do as a physical therapist today just as much as I do, and as I'm excited as I was 30 years ago when I graduated to be a PT.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about what kind of you feel like is important about physical therapy within healthcare and the role that physical therapists play in that world.
Well, I think for me it's rewarding to help people be able to function the way they want. Mm-hmm. And whether that's an 80-year-old wanting to continue to walk for exercise or travel to visit relatives that don't live in state, or whether it's a teenager that's competing in soccer and wants to be able to play with their team. That reward of getting people to be able to do what they enjoy is huge for me.
Yeah. Infinity Rehab, as you know, celebrates National PT Month in many ways. One of those is with a nice commemorative poster like we've got up behind us. And I know that a lot of our facilities and programs have other special events where they kind of celebrate physical therapy during October. Do you have any special celebrations planned either this year or maybe something that you've done in the past to celebrate?
For me, I've been involved in working with girls' sports, it's particularly soccer and injury prevention. I have a kind of a deep value in trying to prevent injuries. I think in our healthcare world, we spend so much money, especially now on young girls with ACL tears having surgeries at the age of 15. And I see a huge value in our profession as physical therapists to make a difference in that and to bring the healthcare costs down and to teach people how to move better. And there's nobody better than us who knows movement and how we can teach people to change that movement.
Absolutely.
So yes, I will be testing and screening girls soccer teams this fall. I've started. We do other colleagues and I do a screen, and we do some education, and then we go back and re-screen them to see if their scores have changed and their movement's improved.
Yeah. Well, and like you kind of alluded to, National Physical Therapy Month is not only about employers celebrating and even therapists celebrating, but there are some of the other physical therapy organizations that are out there celebrate. Many of the different chapters of the American Physical Therapy Association have events. For example, right here in Wilsonville, our home state here in Oregon, the Oregon Physical Therapy Association is doing a day of service across the state where people will be doing physical therapy kind of in a pro bono scenario. The other fun thing I think about October is school just kicked off for our future colleagues all across physical therapy and assistant schools, and that first round of testing and first scores of the year I think are coming in. For those students that are maybe in PT school right now, or a student that is thinking about becoming a physical therapist, what primary benefit, what is the biggest gain that you think that they have that it's worth sticking it out to become a physical therapist?
Well, I mentor some students that have come to work with me, and I think one thing I always tell them is that it's just so rewarding to be able, especially if you like to work and be with people, that it's so rewarding to make a difference in their lives, and that it's a career path that has so many facets. You can go into cardiac rehab or sports, or they're just a huge spectrum of interests. So if you have special interests, you can pursue that as a passion and become an expert at it. For myself as a mother, it offered some flexibility in being able to be a mother, but also be employed and have a career path and be professional.
Right, absolutely. Well, thanks for joining me today, Peggy, to celebrate and talk about National PT Month a little bit. I encourage you to visit APTA's consumer website, moveforwardpt.com, to learn a little bit more about how physical therapists and assistants help adults of all ages, children, all people in this world advance their movement and function. And of course, if you want to learn more about how therapists at Infinity Rehab help the older adults move forward in their life, visit infinityrehab.com. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Infinicast.